Welcome back to From the Pages of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the July 1994 issue. This is one of those mid 1990s issues where the wrestling world feels like it is shifting under your feet. The WWF is rebuilding its roster after the steroid era. WCW is quietly stacking talent that will soon reshape the industry. Japan and the independents are producing some of the hardest hitting wrestling anywhere in the world. And Pro Wrestling Illustrated is right in the middle of it all, trying to capture the moment for readers one issue at a time. The centerpiece story in this issue focuses on Razor Ramon and asks a question that might sound strange today, but was very real at the time. With the world in his hand, as will Razor Ramon lose his grip? By 1994, Razor Ramon had transformed himself from a flashy villain into one of the most respected performers in the WWF. The Intercontinental Championship had become his platform and his proving ground. The article explains that fans no longer saw Ramon as an underachiever. He was a champion, a star, and someone who might one day hold the world title. But success brings pressure. The story explores whether Razor Ramon could handle the responsibility that comes with being a top attraction in the Federation. Around his neck hang charms and amulets, and his championship belt feels almost like, armor. The piece presents Ramon as a man balancing confidence with fear, determined to stay on top, but aware that the wrestling world has a way of knocking champions down just as quickly as it lifts them up. Another major feature brings readers into a press conference with Jerry the King Lawler. Lawler had been dealing with legal problems that threatened to damage his reputation nationally. In this interview, he speaks candidly about the situation and about his determination to move forward. Lawler had spent years building his legend in Memphis and then expanding that reputation into the national spotlight through the WWF. Now he finds himself trying to repair that image. The interview shows the King in a reflective mood, acknowledging the controversy, but insisting that his career and his name are far from finished. The magazine then shifts to an unusual partnership forming in the WWF tag team ranks. Cactus Jack experiences the healing power of pain, tells the story of how Mick Foley's chaotic alter ego found himself teaming with the massive Max Payne. Their alliance is not simply presented as another tag team pairing. The article digs into the strange circumstances that first brought them together. Cactus Jack is known for his willingness to absorb punishment, while Payne carries the look and attitude of a dangerous outlaw. Together they form a pairing that feels unpredictable and violent, the kind of team that might explode in success or collapse in chaos at any moment. Over in WCW, another rivalry is getting attention in a feature where Ric Flair analyzes Lord Steven Regal. Flair praises Regal's ability inside the ring, calling him a champion when it comes to technical skill. But Flair does not hold back when it comes to Regal's personality. According to the Nature Boy, the British wrestler has the talent to be great, but carries himself with an attitude that could hold him back. The article frames the rivalry between the two as a clash of styles and personalities. Regal represents technical discipline and aristocratic arrogance, while Flair embodies the flamboyant confidence of a man who has ruled the sport for years. One of the more unusual features in the issue pulls back the curtain on Yokozuna's training habits. At the time, many fans assumed the massive WWF champion relied solely on size and strength to dominate his opponents. This article challenges that assumption by presenting rare glimpses into his workout routine. Photographs and testimony from sparring partners reveal that Yokozuna is capable of pushing himself through punishing training sessions that leave even experienced wrestlers exhausted. The feature reminds readers that beneath the enormous frame is an athlete who takes preparation seriously. Another article tied to the annual PWI 500 rankings looks at the wrestler who anchored the survey and helped bring the list to a dramatic conclusion. The story captures the excitement surrounding the yearly ranking of the top 500 wrestlers in the world. When the crowd began chanting 500, the moment turned into a celebration of the survey itself and of the wrestler who helped bring that list to its final entry. Beyond the feature stories, the magazine continues with the departments that longtime readers expect. Between Falls opens the issue with letters from fans reacting to recent wrestling events. WrestleMania 10 remains a hot topic, especially the title. Matches involving Bret Hart, Lex Luger, and Yokozuna. Some readers praise the matches, while others argue about who truly deserved the championship opportunity. Another letter questions why no heroes came to The Undertaker's aid when he was overwhelmed by multiple opponents at the Royal Rumble. There is also an emotional tribute to Kerry Von Erich, following his tragic death earlier in the year, showing how deeply his loss affected wrestling fans across North America. Ringside with Bill Apter delivers the news section of the magazine, and it is packed with developments from across the wrestling world. Big Van Vader's situation in WCW is one of the biggest talking points. After losing the WCW World Championship to Ric Flair at Starrcade, the massive powerhouse finds himself struggling to get another title shot. Instead of returning directly to the championship picture, Vader is pushed into other matches while Flair prepares to defend the title against longtime rival Rick Steamboat. The column also touches on changes among WCW managers and talent movements across different promotions, giving readers a sense of how quickly the wrestling landscape can shift. From the desk of Stuart M. Sachs takes a thoughtful look at the role of managers in professional wrestling. Sachs argues that fans often misunderstand what managers actually do. Many people see them only as loudmouths interfering in matches. According to Sachs, the real work of a manager happens behind the scenes. Managers study tape, guide training sessions, and help their wrestlers prepare mentally and physically for competition. In Focus presents a survey asking readers about themselves. The editors want to know who is reading Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Questions cover age, income, television habits, favorite promotions, and how often fans attend wrestling shows or order pay-per-view events. The survey reflects the magazine's attempt to better understand its audience and shape future issues around what readers enjoy most. Win, Lose, or Draw looks at the return of Earthquake to the WWF. The column remembers the destruction he caused in earlier years, including the attack that nearly ended Hulk Hogan's career. Now, Earthquake appears to be acting more like a fan favorite, even helping Bret Hart during a confrontation with Diesel. The column raises the obvious question, can Earthquake really be trusted, or is this change only temporary? The Steel Cage column tackles controversy in WCW surrounding the decision to make the Boss the special referee in the Ric Flair versus Big Van Vader Steel Cage match. Writer Chris Bernucca argues that appointing a wrestler with a little officiating experience to such an important match was a terrible decision. The result was chaos inside the cage and more frustration for Vader as his championship hopes slipped further away. Off the Top Rope collects letters and commentary that often stir debate among readers. The column touches on rule-breaking in wrestling and the strange double standard where certain fan favorites get away with actions that villains would be condemned for. Scattered throughout the magazine are the advertisements that remind readers this is still a product of the 1994 wrestling boom. There are promotions encouraging readers to subscribe to wrestling magazines so they never miss an issue. There are advertisements for wrestling games, collectibles, and trivia hotlines where fans can test their knowledge of the sport. One promotion invites readers to prove their wrestling knowledge by answering trivia questions correctly for a chance to win cash prizes and video game packages. Another ad promotes collectible WWF pewter miniatures, featuring wrestlers like Razor Ramon, The Undertaker, and Macho Man Randy Savage. These ads capture a time when wrestling merchandise was spreading into toy stores, hobby shops, and game stores across the country. As the issue continues, the magazine moves into its familiar closing sections. Arena Reports compile match results from promotions around the world. The Scouting Report evaluates the strengths and weaknesses of several wrestlers. The Official Wrestling Ratings present the latest rankings of the sport's top competitors, while Ratings Analysis breaks down what those rankings mean for the balance of power in wrestling. Taken together, the July 1994 issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated Feels like a snapshot of an industry on the verge of transformation. New stars are emerging, established legends are still battling for championships, and the lines between promotions are becoming more competitive than ever. If you enjoy opening these old wrestling magazines and stepping back into moments like this, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. There are hundreds of issues still waiting to be explored, and every one of them tells another chapter in the history of professional wrestling. See ya next time. Farewell from the Empire State.